All right, time for the big reveal here on this generator for the Farmall 560. Hopefully the paint tape comes off. There it is. Excuse me. All right, guys. I'm not sure where I left you last time on the update with this, but I did get a new hose on here for the antifreeze drain. My video from yesterday, I think it was yesterday, this had some holes in it. So we got a new hose on there. It's a little bit bigger diameter than I wanted, but it's fine. It'll work. It's functional. I did put the generator back on. You'll remember I said I was going to paint it black. Whether it was black originally or not, I have no idea, but I think it looks pretty nice. And I did clean up the Delco tag, cleaned it up and taped it off so I wouldn't paint over it like I did the last time. Last time I just painted right over it. So we have the tag cleaned up and out in the open. So I'm looking here to see what I have to do yet at the front end, and I think we're pretty well finished up front. All this project started because I had one little antifreeze leak, so that's kind of how it is. So the dash dried from yesterday, and I'm grounded now today. I can't do anything. It's raining, and we're grounded, so the fields down here are getting a little green. We got to get at it, but the dash should be dry. It had all night to dry, and gonna peel the tape off. Got a little grease on there. Peel the tape off and see what we have, and if everything looks good, if I don't have any touch-up to do, we're gonna reverse the tape and paint the red. So it might take a little while to dry today. It's a very humid day, but that's all right. I have time to I have to do all the wires at the dash yet, so we have time to let it dry. So let me see what this looks like and go from there. All right, guys, so it's a different day here. I've got everything pulled out again. I have another guy coming for some hay today, so we're gonna get some more hay moved. The reason it's a different day, I was working on this dash yesterday, and it was so humid that 4 or 5 hours later, this paint was still tacky on this dash. So I couldn't do anything there. I got all the wires organized on the dash of the 560. Everything is pretty well where it needs to be. I got everything diagnosed and cleaned up, and the wires look good. So we're gonna run with it the way it is. Right now though, I want to get my herbicide in the sprayer because today is a very calm day. The winds are only supposed to be 2-3 miles an hour. So I want to get these 2 fields sprayed here, finish some other fields yet, and I'm hoping today to finish the corn pre-emerge. I should be able to finish it today and maybe get the sprayer flushed out and start on the soybeans. So anytime I sell hay, I got to move this wagon out of the barn. So we're gonna move some hay today and get spraying and try to really put a dent in the workload I have here and try to get caught up at least. So I want to get the corn ground done. And so I'm gonna quit talking and start moving here, but I'll come back with you in a little bit. And of course, like I said before, we're adding some car boats here from Genesis Ag to our pre-emerge, putting it on as a broadcast. And it actually, for being 4 different kinds of sugar, it actually looks almost like a soda, minus the carbonation, maybe a little bit, but it doesn't really smell like, doesn't have a sweet smell to it. So we'll just, let me climb up here first. I don't want to spill it. I don't really have a specific order for this stuff. I was putting the carbos in last. That's about 32 ounces. I have to add a little bit yet for this mix. So give it a try anyway. Now I got to top off the foam marker here. It looks like a 5-gallon container of foam through the foam marker lasts me about 30 acres is what I came up with. Could be a little bit different for some people. They want an 80-to-1 mix ratio with this, or on the back it says 8 ounces per 5 gallon of water. So if you have this right full, put 8 ounces in, and it is expensive. And I'm not going to go with this same brand next next time I get some, I can get it cheaper through Agpo actually. So this is OEM foam for the foam marker, but $45 a gallon. It's a lot of money. So I'm gonna add this here to the foam marker. And of course, there's nothing you have to mix or anything. It agitates itself. You just put the water in. I put the water in first, and then the foam solution. It's probably just like a soap, but maybe a little bit better than soap. So I think with the other day when it was so windy, this stuff was disappearing awfully fast, and I don't remember it being like that. So either I didn't have enough mix in there. That's why I measured it this time. Last time I just eyeballed it. So I want to do a test. All right, so you're probably wondering what I'm using for the corn pre-emerge, and I don't know if it's right, but I'm doing it anyway. Ag PhD just had a video out about not using 2,4-D as a spring burn down product ahead of beans especially, and also corn. And I watched that episode probably 5-6 times trying to understand what he was saying, because the vast majority of guys I know do put some 2,4-D in for their pre-emerge in the corn. 2,4-D, of course, attacks broadleaves, and corn is in the grass family, and it can cause injury, I guess, to corn. But there's a couple things I picked up on with their line of reasoning. One thing was, if you don't have heat or moisture, you could get into trouble. Well, they're in the Dakotas, I think. Here in the Northeast, we are not short on heat or moisture, and especially this year. So we do have those. The other thing he talked about was the 14-day window that you should put it on and then not plant, and I have that, so I have that. The other thing is the rates. I'm not going to go the full rate of 2,4-D in this, because I don't just have 2,4-D in the tank. I have some Roundup and a couple other things. So I don't have to go the full rate with every single product. I don't think when you're doing a multiple modes of action type of deal, I don't think it's necessary to just dose the fields with the full rate of everything. I think the full rate should be saved if you're using it by itself, the way I understand it anyway. Fourth or fifth point I want to make, I'm using LV4, the solventless, which is a little bit different than the old 2,4-D. This is a different consistency. It's like a white milky material versus the maple syrup color of your usual 2,4-D. And what I'm finding with this LV4 solventless is it's a lot less potent, I think, than the old style 2,4-D. So I think I'm going to be okay. I really don't see any reason to not use it. So I do have a 14-day window, and we do have heat and moisture. So I'm just agitating the tank here a little bit. I'm not going too crazy. Should go a little more. On the label of the Carbos, it says not to agitate violently. So I'm not agitating violently. And I don't think with this sprayer you can agitate violently. It only has one place where it agitates, and they're great big jets. They're not the little, like, smaller agitation type things that you see. These are like 3/4 inch. I don't know why. I know you don't get the spraying, which it's nice, because then it doesn't get foamy. You don't have the high pressure like a pressure washer in there. It's kind of just the big jets are kind of stirring it more than anything. So I don't know. It just takes longer to get it all mixed. So I'm gonna get going here in a little. There's a little more wind than I thought, but I have to be a little more careful down here because there's a lot more grass. And of course, it is always way easier spraying in corn stalk when you don't have any guidance, because you can follow the rows very easily. So yeah, this is getting pretty rough in here. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I dislike trees, especially dead ones that fall in the field. So I got them pushed out of the way. Got these two bottom fields are finished. Just finished spraying. And I just noticed something real neat. Tires from Pennsylvania. Who would have thought? Huh. Well, I can't get rid of this sprayer. All right, so we're starting to make some progress here with the reassembly, putting new wire ends on where they're needed, trying to get everything organized here and zip tied together. So still looks like kind of a mess, but we are making progress and trying to be very careful not to scratch our new paint job. So let me keep working at this and I'll keep you guys posted. All right, so we got our dash on. The main thing is I got the fuel or the temperature sending unit reinstalled, so now we're going to put our antifreeze back in and check for any type of leaks before we go too far here. All right guys, a couple things you'll notice here. We're still making progress, but we're going to be ending for the day now again. You'll notice the oil pressure gauge is not in. It's not installed. It's because I need a different adapter to thread that tiny thread into the back of it. It's the wrong adapter. So you'll take notice we got all the gauges in. Everything's back where it needs to go. The wires have been cleaned up. The glow plugs, I don't know if you've been following along, those do work now. And we should be good. I put the antifreeze in and I have to get that part for the adapter. So when we hook the battery up, and I'll let you in on a secret, I already did hook it up and we didn't have any fire or smoke or anything like that. So we're all right there, but there are a lot of things that can go wrong. We have to do some testing. We got to get it started and run it and make sure we have oil pressure on the gauge, make sure that it's charging, make sure the fuel gauges, you guys know all the gauges have to work. Once we get everything hooked back up, and like I say, basically there's a lot to go wrong. Everything can go wrong, but we're not going to be afraid of it. Like I say, we put everything right back the way it was. We had everything labeled, so like I say, the antifreeze is back in, and I guess that's about it. I'm gonna go spray. I'm gonna go eat some lunch or some dinner and get a lot of spraying done tonight. So gonna end this video here on the 560 and get back into the field and get some more work done. So thanks for watching. All right, so I'm not gonna go spraying. They just changed the forecast and they're calling for rain here in the next 2 hours or so. So that's not enough time. When you spray, you want it to be on the crop, on the weeds for a little while. You don't want it to wash off right away. So and I didn't get much footage of the tractor in action. I'm going to try to really get some more when I'm doing the soybeans. My biggest issue is trying to get a mount that works. My camera's shaking too much. I'm going through the field and it's just terrible. So I want to see if I can't put it back on the sprayer, and I also have my head strap. Maybe I can get some more footage and talk to you guys while we're putting down for the soybeans. So I don't know. It's just with the rain coming now, I'm just gonna wait. I'll have to wait till next week. I have to give it a little bit of time here until the weather cooperates. So all right, I guess that's where we'll end it. Thanks for watching, guys.